A big thank you to Nintendo for sponsoring today's video, so we can take a look at one of their brand new products, the Nintendo Sound Clock Alarmo. But before I show you everything it can do, let's go ahead and unbox Alarmo so I can show you everything that comes inside the package.
First up, we get a little bit of paperwork, which I toss to the side immediately. After that, I remove the cardboard and plastic packaging, which secures Alarmo into place. You will also notice that you have an included USB Type-A to USB Type-C cable, and then of course you get Alarmo itself. And because I had no adult supervision, I immediately just started pressing every single button on the alarm clock.
Let's go ahead and take a tour around the Alarmo hardware. On the front, you're gonna see a nice large screen. This will display any different themes that you choose. Above and below that is not only a motion sensor, but also a light sensor, and I'm gonna get into the functionality of those a little bit later because that is a really cool feature about Alarmo. On the top, you're gonna see a giant white knob. Now this knob you can actually twist and turn, and it allows you to go through and select different options within the software. And when you have an option that you like, you can go ahead and press down on it, and it will go ahead and select different options for you. If you go into the menus and you want to get back, of course, there is a back button for that. And then there's also a mail button, and that's because Alarmo will intuitively send you messages in the morning. For example, Alarmo can actually track your sleep patterns, which is really awesome. This is something that you usually get from a smartwatch or a smart ring, but this time your alarm clock does it for you, and you don't even have to wear any electronic devices, which is pretty awesome. Now, in the morning, you might see a little mail tab. You just press it there, and it'll let you know if you were tossing and turning, getting up and down to use the restroom or get a drink of water or anything like that, and I think that is really high tech and really cool. And when we turn to the bottom, you are going to notice 3 rubberized feet, and this is so that Alarmo doesn't slide or move around on top of the nightstand. Now the USB-C port is nice because that means that the cable detaches, and just in case the cable ever gets damaged, it's really easy to replace. Now turning around to the back, you are going to see some speaker grills, and this is where all the audio is going to come from. Now as for the setup process, Alarmo is pretty quick and snappy. I found that it took me about 10 minutes to set up, and I was kind of having fun with the whole process, so I'll go ahead and walk you guys through that now. It's almost midnight right now, so it is my bedtime, but I just figured I might as well get one more night of sleep testing out my alarm clock so that I can speed up making the video for you guys. So we're gonna go ahead and go through the setup process now, and we'll see how difficult it is.
This entire first part, I just sat here yapping for like 5 whole minutes, telling you guys how I have to run a single cable behind my bed, which in hindsight really isn't that difficult, but I make it appear like it is. And to spare you from boredom, I'm just gonna fast forward through this part. And now that you have your cable plugged in, you can start to twist the dial and select things like the language you speak, which region you live in, today's date, and of course the time as well. From there, you can customize your volume preferences, and then this part is super cool. You get to start using the motion sensor. The tutorial will show you how to wave and interact with characters on the screen.
That's awesome.
Not gonna lie, things did take a weird turn though, because at one point I was jumping up and down and diving across my bed, just trying to complete tasks that Alarmo was giving me. And after a few more questions like what size bed I sleep in, and then of course alarm clock height and position, our motion sensor was all set up. And now there's only one thing left to do, and that of course is test out the alarm.
Oh, now it's getting loud. Next, stop the alarm by getting out of bed. Oh, I already did that part. Whoopsies. Get out of bed. I like how the button's turning red. It's getting mad at me. Oh. I like the celebration when I get out of bed, though.
And of course, the final part of the setup process is the most fun. And that's because we get to pick which game theme we want to wake us up in the morning. And of course, you guys know I had to go with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And now let's talk about price and features.
Starting off with the price, Alarmo does retail for $99 US, and you can either purchase it directly from Nintendo utilizing that Nintendo online account, or you can purchase it from major big box stores like Best Buy, Target, or even Walmart. Now, the 3 major functions that Alarmo is going to complete for you is obviously your morning alarm. You're gonna have an hourly chime function, which is really fun, but my favorite part happens to be the sleepy sounds.
And when enabled, sleepy sounds will trigger the second your head hits your pillow and lull you to sleep with peaceful and calming sounds.
Time to get to bed. Wow, that's really nice, actually. I like that. Now, Alarmo does come standard with 5 themes already built into the software of the alarm clock, starting off with Super Mario Odyssey, then getting into Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Splatoon 3, Pikmin 4, and Ring Fit Adventure. But of course, you can actually connect Alarmo to your Wi-Fi and then connect it to your Nintendo account, which allows you to download even more themes, including Mario Kart and Super Mario Bros. Now, Alarmo may look pretty simple on the exterior, but on the inside, this thing's actually pretty high tech, and that's thanks to the built-in motion and light sensor, which are embedded above and below the screen, truly giving its users a hands-free experience. For example, in the mornings, when your alarm starts to go off, Alarmo will actually react to the user moving around in their bed, encouraging and getting louder and louder as they continue to move. It's going to keep bothering you until you get out of bed completely, and once you do that, it's going to make a celebratory sound and Alarmo will stop. That is, unless you get back into that bed within the next hour. Because if that happens, Alarmo's actually gonna start all over again.
This way you don't crawl back into bed and accidentally fall back asleep.
Now, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I have not had this much fun unboxing and reviewing a brand new tech gadget or device in a super long time. And as a Nintendo enthusiast myself, I certainly do appreciate being able to wake up to some of my favorite nostalgic sounds each and every morning. Now, a few more things you should know about Alarmo before you purchase it. Number one, it is going to work whether you have a twin, a queen, or even a king-size bed. Also, as far as placement goes, on a nightstand is fine, but you just want to make sure that you're not stacking it on top of a pile of books or something, because it's recommended not to be 8 inches above the mattress. Also, Alarmo will work best if you're a single sleeper. Now, this does include other people, but even pets as well, and that's because Alarmo relies heavily on its motion sensing technology, and it wouldn't be able to differentiate you from another person or even a cat or dog jumping up and down off the mattress if the alarm was going off. And finally, Alarmo can only set one alarm at a time, meaning if you wake up at different times each day of the week, you will have to go back into your alarm clock and reset that time each evening before you go to bed. And as always, guys, if you want to check out Alarmo for yourself, I will leave a link down in the description below. But in the meantime, go check out one of these videos because for some reason, YouTube thinks you're gonna like them.